Wallace still going. You need the coaches in there to get him away. Jackson challenging Derek Coleman. Somebody should just get Jackson out of there. That's what causes the problem. Rasheed Wallace did an excellent job trying to keep everybody away and trying to keep the peace. But it started after Artest with a hard foul on Wallace after he got behind him. And then Ben Wallace came over with the shove. An ugly way for this one to wind down.
Totally uncalled for.
I want to see the foul again because it appeared Wallace was past him and Artest shoved him. And that's what Wallace took exception to, but you still can't react that way. You've got to let it go.
That's not that hard of a foul.
It's not a normal foul, but not that hard. And Ben Wallace can't react that way. Wallace is still charged up. Now, Wallace, I would assume, has been ejected. The way Steven Jackson's carrying on, they should eject him as well.
They need to somehow find a way to get this game over with as quickly as possible.
The problem is, if Wallace is ejected, I'm not sure. He'd have to walk past the Pacer bench to go. Now Artest has jumped over the scorer's table and is trying to get down to the bench. Artest is in the stands. Oh, this is awful. Fans are getting involved. Steven Jackson's in the fans. Rasheed Wallace going into the stands. The security trying to somehow restore order. Fans and players are going at it, and the players trying to help each other out.
This is a disgrace.
All the players now, they're jumping in there to try and get the other players out because the fans have come involved. Oh, what a sad scene here at the Palace. And now another fight's breaking out in front of the Pistons bench. It's a fan on the court. This is very, very dangerous. Fans are throwing cups with liquid in them now onto the court. Ron Artest has a look in his eye that's very scary right now. You wonder if the official's going to let this game continue. Now they're throwing bottles out onto the floor. They're trying to get the Pacers to go back to the locker room. What was maybe you could call a hard foul at best has turned into just an ugly, ugly scene.
Chuck Person.
The officials, I think they're going to call this game off, and that should be. The outcome is definitely decided. You have these ridiculous fans trying to go at the players and now throwing. Somebody could really get hurt. It's a bad showing from the Pistons fans here. Just firing bottles from the stands. The Pacers have all gone back into the locker room, and they're getting thrown a lot of debris, and they're still not all the way through. And for some reason, one of the Pacers, they hold Austin Crozier out. They won't let him get under the tunnel because they're afraid for his safety. They're pouring liquid over. What a disgraceful showing from the Pistons fans here. That's one of the worst scenes I've ever seen.
This is a low moment in NBA history.
The players just have to get out of there. Get back to the locker room and forget about it. The game has been called. The official announcement has been made. The game has been called, which was the right call. The outcome obviously is over. And players and fans in danger with the emotions and the tempers being completely lost.
More from Mike Breen and Bill Walton shortly. Both teams eventually would head back to the locker room. We're going to go back through the entire situation from start to finish and slow things down for you. Here's how it happened. 45.9 seconds left. Ron Artest, the hard foul on Ben Wallace. It was hard, but it wasn't flagrant. You could make the argument that Wallace overreacted, but that led to pushing and shoving. Seemed like cooler heads were starting to prevail. Now watch Ben Wallace throws a towel at Artest. Artest always in the middle of everything, right? But at this point, Artest is actually just chilling. He's lying on the scorer's table. When a fan throws a cup, it hits him in the face. That leads Artest into the crowd. He wrestles the fan down to the ground, and I wonder if I should be using the word fan in this particular case. Steven Jackson punches a fan in the face there. Watch the fan come into your picture on the left. He's in a baseball hat. Right there. He's hitting Artest from behind. Watch another fan. He clocks Fred Jones from behind. So the fans are not backing off. They're clearly making matters worse. Then as Artest gets back on the court, watch this. Artest punches that fan right in the face. Looked like the fan was heading towards him. Artest hit him. Then as another fan gets up, watch Jermaine O'Neal, right of your screen coming into the picture, right there, sends the fan down. The officials were banged up in this game as well. Lower right-hand corner of your screen, that's Tommy Nunez Jr. He would take a bottle, a plastic bottle where you would think off the face. Now, Artest is still on the court. The cop threatens to spray him with pepper spray, but in the end doesn't. Now, Reggie Miller would come over along with Austin Crozier. There's Reggie on the right, and the cops help get Artest off the floor. Now, as Jermaine O'Neal heads off the floor, watch this. Looks like an article of clothing comes flying in his direction. Almost hit Jonathan Bender. Now, by this point, Artest is off the court, heading for the dressing room. That's Artest there. Steven Jackson follows him. Meanwhile, the scariest part, watch the upper right-hand corner of your screen now. Here's a chair thrown in, flying in the direction of Jermaine O'Neal. Another fight breaks out. Players, fans, security. Now, to take a good look now, down on the floor in a prone position, to be able to get a glimpse right there of what appears to be an older woman lying down in the middle of it all. O'Neal gets hit in the face with what appeared to be a bucket of popcorn. Now watch Jamal Tinsley now. He comes back out of the dressing room, grabs a dustpan, and is inches away from hitting somebody. Thought better. The Pacers just littered with food and drink as they would exit. People were left bloodied. Fans were left stunned. And kids were left with tears on an overall sorry night for the NBA and especially fans of the Detroit Pistons.
Harden fouled by Ingram. Do they count it? No. They say the foul occurred before the gather.
And he never put the ball back down.
And I think another technical foul's been handed out. Now Ingram looks like he's confronting Jason Phillips.
Well, the technical foul was on Ingram for shoving James Harden after that play.
I'm not sure what happened.
Ingram was usually pretty mild-mannered. It's hot now. Paul punches a throw. Paul and Rondo throwing punches. Ingram comes in. He's throwing punches. Security trying to separate. So are some of the teammates. There's going to be suspensions for this one as Rondo immediately heads back to the locker room. Ingram still jawing. Carmelo Anthony still jawing. That's when it gets dangerous, when it breaks out in a couple of different places. All right, there's the initial foul. Ingram's upset. Pushes Harden. The technical foul. Then Ingram gets in the face of Jason. You know what? I think it was Harden behind Jason Phillips. That's why he went that way.
But why did he push him to start with?
Oh.
And then Paul gets in the face. Rondo throws a punch. Paul throws a punch. Ingram comes in here. He throws a punch. Those three will be suspended for those punches.
Multiple games.
And James quickly getting Paul out of it. As Mark said, when Chris Paul was over here, he said that Rondo spit on him. And again, couldn't see anything there on the replay. James and Paul, such close friends. James able to calm him down momentarily.
Yeah, what they're looking at obviously has how it all started, like you said, Mike. It starts with Ingram with the push of Harden. That's obviously a technical foul. Don't know what Ingram said to Phillips, but at least he has one technical foul, we know for sure. Then as they're looking at the film, you're going to see Rondo and you see Paul. Obviously ejections because of punches thrown. And Ingram now comes in from the backside, throws a punch also, so he's gone no matter what. Everybody else seemed to be a peacemaker except for those three. So I think you're going to see those three ejections.
I'd be shocked if they weren't. And again, Ingram coming in outside again of that fight between these two. As the third man coming in, that's usually heavily penalized.
And they usually step in before those escalate, Mike. I think that one just got away from him quickly.
2 technical fouls on Ingram in addition to the personal foul, so he's ejected. Technical foul on both on Rondo and Chris Paul. They're ejected. Houston will get 2 free throws and then they'll take it out of bounds.
Garrity, Howard, Dooling, Nelson, and Augment for Orlando. 13 to shoot. Howard on the handoff, and this is Nelson to guide it up but short. Allen with a rebound, and he caught a forearm from Augment, and the chops inadvertently. Swings it into front court to Murray. You can hear the whistle of Bob Lilly wants to slow things down here. We'll set something up. Collinson screens down. Swift will come up. He comes off of that pick. And then on the opposite side, Allen is knocked down, and then Allen spills into the floor, and he throws a right hand. They are in the stands on the right side, and Allen is throwing a punch at Dooling over there along the sideline.
It's Damon.
Is it Damien?
It's Damien. It's Allen's over there too. Yeah.
Allen is over there. It was Allen that spilled into the stands. Allen spilling into the stands had been knocked down at the far side. Ray Allen just went off. I mentioned he was knocked down at center court on a double team, and there was no whistle. Then he got clipped by Augment in backcourt with a forearm, and then things got crazy along the sideline. Here it is. He gets popped here by Augment. All right. And that looked to be inadvertent. And then things escalated right here. After he was knocked down, he spills into the stands. You can see Augment trying to pull Allen off of Dooling. Dooling had just gotten in the game. It was Dooling and Nelson that double teamed him in backcourt initially when he fell down and didn't get a call.
Yeah, you never love to see that kind of stuff happen, Kevin, but these guys are so pumped up and so hyped up.
There is a double fighting foul. Number 34, Ray Allen.
Both Dooling and Allen have been ejected, a double fighting call. Here in the second quarter in Seattle, Ray Allen and Keon Dooling have both been kicked out for fighting. Let's take a look at what occurred here just about 7 minutes ago.
Here's your double team. They both fall. Right there, there's a lot going on. And then right there you see getting hit in the face.
Augment.
And then down here, they're just bodying up on each other. Right here, they're still down here. And next thing you know, they're in the front row.
Yep. And then Allen is taken off of the court, and so is Dooling. Take a look at that play again here at the near side. All right, there you see.
Right here.
Oh, it looked like Dooling came at him with the left arm. And then he got up on him in front of him on the sideline.
Oh, yeah,
see, this is
right
a perspective we did not have before. That picture tells the story. That definitely tells the story. Great work by our crew. If we can see that, is it possible to see it again?
Everybody talking not so much about the game, but about the contact between Ray Allen and Keon Dooling early in the second quarter. What you think, Coach?
Well, it was kind of a nondescript game until that action started, but it was away from the ball. And right here, you're going to see right there, Dooling steps in front trying to cause a charge, and I'm sure Ray was a little bit upset. Now, both guys, he gets hit in the mouth accidentally right here, but, you know, Ray has had enough of it. And now as they go down the floor, he's going to try and go around the screen. Dooling is holding him. He stops, bumps him. Now, this side of the floor, here's where the action is. Dooling's trying to keep him from getting the ball and runs right into him. Ray is upset. Now Dooling steps over him, and Ray reacts. They go into the stands fighting. That's a no-no. I mean, we lose a great player for a guy who just came out.
Now, we thought that Dooling was going to go to the dressing room, and I was standing there, and he started to go the other way. All of a sudden, he's down the hall toward the Sonics room.
Yeah, and that's something you can't tolerate. You know, once the players are ejected, it should be over with. But, he ran down the hallway trying to get to Ray Allen. Fortunately, security held Ray off the court for a second or two.
Bill Laimbeer, Charles Barkley. They make no secret of the fact that they don't like each other. Barkley and Dennis Rodman. Maybe the best defensive player against one of the better offensive players. It was a standoff early on. Barkley for three. Good. Sixers up by 8, 45-37. Pistons on a run. Isaiah finds Rodman, and the Sixers lead is 59-58. The Sixers stay tough. Percy Hawkins. What a difference a year makes. The pull-up three. Good. 75-67, Sixers. Johnny Dawkins with a steal. He'll find Barkley. Barkley had 36. The Sixers up by 7. Less than 4 minutes to go. Isaiah ejected. Mahorn elated. These two went at each other all night long. They've been going at each other all season long. Rodman with a push on Mahorn. Laimbeer follows with the ball. And then Barkley and Laimbeer. Barkley gets in the left. Laimbeer will come back with an uppercut. Laimbeer, who's had that mouse under his eye for most of the season, also had a cut. Both benches empty. It went on for 5 minutes. The fans also got involved in it. It was an ugly situation. You can look for fines. I think the biggest thing to be concerned of for both of these teams is if anybody's going to be suspended for the first round of the playoffs. Both teams jawing at each other. The Pistons did not like the fact that the Sixers clinched the Atlantic Division on their home court.
This is really nasty.
They tried to go to the locker room. Barkley went into the locker room and actually broke a toilet seat. He was so mad. The Sixers pick up the victory, 107-97. The last time the Sixers clinched the Atlantic was 1983. They went on to win the NBA title. The Sixers took 3 of the 4 meetings with the Pistons. After the game, we got reaction from both sides.
As far as I'm concerned, we won the battle and we won the war. I think Charles did a great job holding his own out there. I think Rick did too, and that's what it's all about. You know, you have 2 teams that are as competitive as these two. You expect things like that to happen out there, and I'm just glad we got those men out there willing enough to, go that step to protect each other.
You know, they threw a lot of cheap shots down the stretch and tried to interrupt our celebration, but can't nothing take away from it.
I got hit first, so what he says is insignificant because he really doesn't. Nobody really cares about him. He's a loser.
Lakers are trying to get out and break now, but the wrong people are shooting. I wouldn't want.
Somebody swung, but we'll have to see who. For Shaquille O'Neal, it has been this kind of season. He is constantly hacked at and fouled. And a week ago, Friday in Portland, he was actually assessed 2 technical fouls and ejected in a game against the Portland Trailblazers for excess physical play, and then his retaliation. And his retaliation got him in trouble. But this is all Barkley here.
Yeah, but I think it's somewhat of an overreaction in the beginning on Shaquille's part. Barkley swung backwards, but Shaquille pushes him, and then Barkley hits him with the ball.
And there's a punch, a left.
Shaquille threw the first punch.
A left which did not make it. Watch his left arm. Whack. Had he taken the punch, Charles Barkley would be in a standing. Appears as though both Barkley and O'Neal will be ejected. And they're walking Barkley off the floor right now, and Shaquille will leave the floor as well. They're going to let Shaq go first.
For me.
And this is O'Neal's second ejection in less than a week. And Portland, Jermaine O'Neal for the Trailblazers antagonized him enough that Shaq retaliated through 2 technicals and was ejected. This is his second ejection in this young season and second in less.
They could use something from him in the 4th quarter. Rice put it behind the back and nearly lost it. Shaq has it. His jumper is short. And now a fight breaks out between Kobe Bryant and Chris Childs.
Chris Childs punched him twice.
And Kobe is hot. It takes 2 officials to restrain him. Now Ewing is jawing with Shaq. Assistant coach Don Chaney off the Knick bench to try and separate them. A.C. Green, a cooler head, a veteran, pushing Shaq away. Of course, it takes a cavalry to actually do that.
Well, let's see what happens here. There's a bump here. Just keep watching these guys. Little shove there. Childs shoves him. They talk. Now watch Childs. He's going to hit him with the head. The little bump there. And boom, boom. 2 quick punches. And then Kobe throws a couple. So there'll be suspensions here.
In fairness, after the headbutt by Childs, Kobe threw a forearm up in the area of the neck. And then the 2 punches by Childs.
Absolutely. But there'll be suspensions here.
The end of all this is that while Childs and Bryant are going at it, Shaq misses the shot. Houston will grab the rebound. And he believed it should have been Knicks' ball following the altercation when they finally put the ball back in play. But the officials decided that they had blown the whistle, spotting the beginnings of the fight.